Hi everyone, this is E, the Empty Nester. As some of you know, from my past videos, I did one where I closed up the garden and put all the food scraps in. I showed you how I feed the garden worms. This year with the oca, when I harvested the oca in the container, I found I had some worms still in the container, and I thought maybe I would go ahead and try what the Mumbai gardener does and keep these worms fed and alive over the winter. Normally in the winter there's not a lot of food scraps, a lot of vegetable scraps, because too I have the chickens to feed and give them some of the scraps, but I added, leftovers from salads and, the greens, lots of greens. Took some oatmeal, not the quick cooking, but the normal oatmeal that you would make oatmeal cereal with. Fed them some of that, and you got to keep an eye on the soil and make sure it stays wet. So the worms actually need, a liquid coating on their body. If this was already an existing worm bin and lots of worms, the amount of food would keep the soil moist. But here I've been adding water to it, and then I went in there last night to check on it, and things are growing. I'll give you a shot of what it was like. I got the worm bin out to check on the worms, and look at this, something's growing in here. It's like, kind of feels like a bean. I have no clue. It could be a bean. The area that this came from did have the bush and tino beans and other stuff. Seeds could have fell in from there and just sat there all this time. The soil's moist. This is where I had the oca planted, and since, I brought in a couple of worms with the oca, I decided to, start feeding them and keep them through the winter. The Mumbai Balcony gardener, does worm farming in her house, and she's the one, I've been watching her for a while, and, she puts all the food scraps in on one side, and they turn it all into really rich vermicompost. This has some dry spots and some wet spots in it. I don't know how I'm going to do this without messing up those plants. I know, I should just mess up the plants, right? Like, where are the worms? The food that I put in here is gone. But, there's tiny scraps of the lettuce. And there's like a centipede or something in here. I call it like a leggy worm. I don't think these could be oca plants, but I'd be really upset if they were and I, messed up some oca. In the corner here. Can't find my worms. There's one. See, I got worms. There's two. Seem to be hanging out together. I think that was 3. There should be at least 4. There's another one started. But I'll just add some food and put these plants in the corner over here. All I've done is taken a banana peel and some greens. The greens are already hard to see, and added it in there. But this is a zero-cost worm bin because you're using exactly what you have. You know, existing worms and food scraps from your container, an existing container. You know, this was like $5 maybe, you know, if new, but this is being reused, and the soil is already looking really well in here. With having the worms, you know, from my existing soil, I feel pretty good about that. If I were to go to the store and buy worms, I would feel really bad that I would have to keep them forever because I don't want to contaminate my area with imported worms. The what's it called? Red wigglers and Canadian night crawlers are usually what the bait stores sell. And we have our own night crawlers here, and when I read an article about the red wigglers deforesting the forest floor in Pennsylvania, I think it was, and took away a lot of the native plants there, I don't want to be part of damaging the environment in my area, so I'm not going to buy any worms from the store. I'm just going to use what I have available. And also, doing it the way I'm doing it now, it was zero cost. You know, I already had the container for the oca, and I guess I'm showing you this because you don't have to go out and buy a worm bin. And I'm not trying to stop worm bin sales, but I'm just sharing with you, you don't need fancy gadgets and fancy bins and all the stuff just to feed worms. You know, put what you have to work, you know. But I'll close for now. Thanks for watching. Have a great day.